How are you feeling right now?
Feeling really good, like I always do after contact. Very light and flowy and airy, and I love doing contact. Part of the reason is that connection you get with someone else. I think dance is a very special form of art, and to be able to experience that in such an in-flow state with someone else, it gives you a really special feeling.
Nice. What role has contact played in your life?
I think it's opened me up to be a lot more vulnerable. I started my contact journey a few years ago. So I was saying, I was going through a breakup, an intense part of my life, and contact really allowed me to open up to people and be vulnerable in such a safe and intimate way. And I think it was really important on my journey to just like coming into myself, and it's a very, very vulnerable space to be in sometimes, and to feel safe and surrender in that through contact dance has been really, really special.
When you're dancing, are you conscious of your mind, quality of dance? What are you aware of when you dance?
Well, I think one of the whole points of contact improvisation dance is to really let go of the mind and get yourself into that flow state. I think that is why I love it so much, and sometimes it takes a little while to get there, but I think the best time is when I'm not really thinking so much. I'm maybe aware of what body parts are in contact with other body parts, but I think the less you think, the more you flow and the more you dance. Obviously I have to be aware of my body because I'm with someone else, but the biggest thing is to just let go and surrender, and obviously there's a really big thing of trust. And when you do have that trust with the partner you're dancing with, then you are able to let go of all the thoughts and kind of not think, and just, as I said, be in that beautiful slow state that is contact dance.
Sure. So sounds like the best sort of dance you have is when you get into that flow state with someone.
Yes, no mind.
What's it like when you don't achieve that and still have a dance, if that's a thing that happens?
It feels maybe a little bit more rigid or awkward, or a bit held back, a bit more stiff. Kind of the progression when I'm in a class from start to finish, I can really feel that progression. Maybe I'm coming in and certain things have happened in my day, or I'm really caught up in my thoughts, and you go through that journey and process of becoming more open and free and flowy, and it's cool to kind of go through that process, and then by the end you really get to feel a lot more in the dance, and nothing else matters.
Have you shown the dance to others, like introduce people, to try to teach them a little bit, that sort of thing?
100%. It's one of my favorite things to do. I do try and involve other people. I think naturally sometimes, I go to a lot of festivals and dance events where I do get to dance, and you always see people kind of in contact dancing, and if it's someone I feel comfortable with, then I will be like, hey, let's try this, and it'll be a contact move. And I do have a very dear friend of mine who for years we've kind of been dancing contact when we hang out or when we're at parties, and I finally did bring him to a class, which is really beautiful to see. But yeah, I do love bringing contact and trying to share it with the knowledge that I have. I just have to be wary of who I am sharing that with, and make sure to express the boundaries of contact. Obviously it's a very physically intimate practice, but it's very much a dance, and it's nothing more than that. So just obviously to be wary of expressing those boundaries when sharing. But I do love to try and share contact dance with people and get people involved, especially in group settings, and everyone's worming around and getting intertwined. That's usually a lot of fun.
Nice. Yeah, I like what you said about boundaries. It feels like obviously there's that invitation to share a lot of intimacy and closeness, but that can be interpreted like incorrectly, because when you come from the outside world, we haven't really got an equivalent for that, I suppose, so it can be confusing. So yeah, bit of a transitional thing. Very wise. Have you thought about teaching, as more of a teacher in a formal setting?
Possibly. That idea does bring up a little bit of fear
Sure.
in a formal setting. I feel like I'd want a better actual knowledge of the foundations and more like how to structure a class, and these are the exercises that we want to do, and more of like a formal training. But yeah, I love sharing dance, and I do feel like I do have a quite a patient teacher role at times. So yeah, it is a beautiful thing to share, and if I felt more comfortable with being able to conduct a quote-unquote formal class, then yeah, potentially something that I would be interested in.
I encourage you to look into even those small introductions and keep teaching, keep sharing. Words for anyone who's considering doing contact?
I think it's such a beautiful practice, and if it does bring up fear, then that's all the more reason to do it. We're humans, and I think bringing more physical contact with other people is really, really special. There's not really a lot of other circumstances, kind of as you were saying, where we do get to be in constant physical touch with someone else that isn't, an intimate partner or something along those lines. And so to be able to be in a space where you can be so vulnerable and intimately connecting with someone in such a safe space, and it's just through dance, I think is really special, and I encourage anyone to try it. I think it helped me a lot with, as I said, being more vulnerable and being more open, and just being able to connect with others in non-verbal dance ways is really, really special.
Thanks, Paloma.
Thank you, Eamonn.